Tom Cruise is widely recognized as an actor's actor, known for his commitment to performing his own stunts despite some directors' reservations. Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 serves as a direct sequel to Mission Impossible: Fallout and marks the 7th installment in the franchise. The movie reunites familiar faces such as Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Rebecca Ferguson, and Henry Czerny, alongside Cruise's reprising role of Ethan Hunt. This time, Hunt and his IMF team are pitted against the Entity, a formidable rogue AI. With a runtime of 163 minutes, the film sees Hunt once again risk life and limb to thwart a global threat and save the world. But before we get into the review, if you enjoy this type of content, hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, hitting the notification bell will alert you when we drop new content. Now, let's get critical. The film begins with the Sevastopol, a cutting-edge Russian stealth submarine utilizing an advanced AI system activated by a two-part cruciform key. This AI manipulates the crew into attacking a false target, leading to their demise when their own torpedo strikes them. Ethan retrieves one key piece from Ilsa Faust, a disavowed MI6 agent with a bounty on her head in the Arabian desert. He then uncovers a conspiracy involving the Entity at a US intelligence briefing in Washington, D.C. The race to control the Entity involves various global powers, including Ethan and his IMF team, who aim to destroy the AI. The team's pursuit leads them to Abu Dhabi and then to Rome, where they encounter Grace, a professional thief who has stolen the other piece of the key. Despite complications and betrayals, Ethan and his team track the key to Venice. There, they infiltrate a party thrown by arms dealer Alana Mitstopoulos, who plans to sell the completed key. The Entity, through its liaison Gabriel, complicates the mission by forcing Ethan into a devastating choice, resulting in the death of Ilsa Faust. Ultimately, Ethan and his team, now including Grace, who seeks to join the IMF, continue their mission to locate the Sevastopol and neutralize the Entity, armed with the completed key and a determination to prevent global domination by the rogue AI. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie, known for his previous works with Cruise, Dead Reckoning feels like familiar territory for the seasoned creator. Whether it's something Tom Cruise requires in almost every Mission Impossible film, or a feature McQuarrie uses as a centerpiece for the film, probably great for promotional purposes, but you can always expect some death-defying stunt in one of these franchise films. Initially, the Mission Impossible movies acted as standalone movies, with each subsequent film featuring a different mission with no influence on its predecessors. But recently, the films have had a traditional sequel trajectory, with the narratives and plots of each film affecting the next installment. We see the films intensifying the stakes and stunts, all at the expense of Tom Cruise's body. Another theme that has developed as of late is the IMF team's ability to pivot when things inevitably go wrong on the mission and how they work together to save the world. Before, particularly in the first and second film, Hunt was often alone or with maybe one other member, usually Luther, when trying to do the impossible and prevent some type of global catastrophe. McQuarrie uses Dutch angles and close-ups as a callback to the original film, but it is very possible that the close-ups are due to the film being shot during COVID, and they might not have had both actors on set at the same time or close enough to one another for a wider shot. The veteran characters fall right into character, Benji, Ethan, and Luther having great on-screen chemistry. Ving Rhames and the return of Henry Czerny as Kittredge gives a nice sense of continuity given there aren't many characters from the original film left. And the new characters like Haley Atwell's Grace and Eastside Morales' Gabriel offer a refreshing addition to the cast. The trope of a rogue AI or an all-powerful AI in the wrong hands isn't anything new, having seen that narrative explored recently in 2015's Furious 7. Gabriel, an homage to the biblical Gabriel, as he does the bidding of the Entity, which takes the form of a ring, God's eye if you will, similar to that of Westworld's AI, imbued with the capability of predicting human behavior through pattern recognition, is a great addition to the narrative. It's unfortunate that Rebecca Ferguson's Ilsa Faust was killed off, as she was a competent MI6 agent and added dimension to the team. However, in an interview, Ferguson states, "The character was no longer, quote, interesting for me." The statement is backed by the script's treatment of her character, as Faust was beginning to get less agency, dialogue, and development than Ferguson might have liked. The script has its flaws, but overall accomplishes the mission of setting up the events for the second part of this two-part installment. I would say the film overall is typical of what you'd expect from the current version of Mission Impossible films. That is to say, it's a globe-trotting, action-packed spy movie. Mission Impossible films work best when Ethan is portrayed as in the wrong or having gone rogue, despite him actively trying to do what's right, ultimately saving the day. This latest installment delivers on that front and therefore provides a satisfying Mission Impossible film. Just as a side note, I love that they've incorporated Vanessa Kirby's Alana Mitstopoulos into the film as the daughter of Max, a deceased arms dealer from the first film. It's little details like that, among many others, that make the entire franchise worth following. The Easter eggs, such as Ethan's code Bravo Echo 11, a callback to Ethan's code in the original film, and when it's mirrored and turned into numbers, it looks like 1138, a nod to THX 1138, George Lucas's first film, are excellent finds in the film. Lucas is a close friend of Brian De Palma, who directed the first Mission Impossible film and wrote the Star Wars opening crawl. Overall, the movie is enjoyable and worth watching. I would have liked to see more double crosses and moments of desperation where it truly feels like all hope is lost and no one can be trusted. With a budget of $291 million, Dead Reckoning was a box office success, earning $567 million worldwide. I recommend watching this film along with the original and subsequent installments, especially if you enjoy espionage films. Given all that, I rate Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 3 out of 5 stars.